All right, guys, go ahead and put your name at the top. The lights out. All right, guys, here's the deal. Variable. What does variable mean? If I have a changes. So if you have a variable income, it's recommended that you have an entire year, so 12 months of income in your savings account. That's a lot, right? Okay. Can you give me an example of a job that doesn't always pay the same? You don't know exactly how much you're going to make every day or every week. Okay, so we could say, I like the remodeling. Hold on a second. So remodeling slash, can I say piecework? Do you guys know what that means if I say piecework?
Yeah.
Okay.
What does piecework go for?
So anytime you're doing something where it's contract for a specific object, not hourly, and you're not like working for, like you can work at some big construction companies where you're guaranteed the hours and you get the same pay every week. But if you're working independently, no. So anytime you're running your own business, so this is just how much money you should have in an emergency fund. Anytime you're running your own business. So I know a lot of you want to start your own private welding business.
What about waiters?
Good, that's a great one. Waiter. So private welding, I know some people are going to do independent contracting. So just anything where you don't know for sure how many hours and how much you're going to get paid that week, right? If you have a fixed income. So what does fixed income mean? You know exactly how much you're going to get paid. Am I a fixed or am I variable? I'm fixed. So for anyone who's fixed, it's recommended that you have 6 months of income saved for an emergency in case anything crazy happens. Okay? Because I don't have a job lined up for next year, I have 12 months saved. That make sense? So I could have no job the entire next year and still be okay. Would I mentally be okay? No, I'd be freaking out that my money was going away and I wasn't putting it back, and I'd be freaking out. Okay, so for sure, teacher would count as, can you guys cross this out and say fixed? My bad. That's me struggling. Okay, so teacher for sure. Can you guys think of any others? Yeah. Can we just say anything that is an office job? Anything that's an office job is pretty much fixed, right? You know how much you're going to make. Is that Benito's music? Benito, is that you? Can you turn your music down, please? Okay. Needs versus wants. Where does food go? Okay. Where does eating out go?
Yo.
Dude, I'm recording. Okay, can you guys give me an example of something that's a need?
Water.
Clothes. Hush. Okay, you just need basic clothes. What's an expensive version of basic clothes that you don't really need? Name brands, right? Y'all, hush. The side chat, hush. Okay, guys, we're thinking about, I'm saying food / water as one category. What else do you need? Absolutely, you need a place to live. So I'm going to say a home. Okay, do you need a mansion?
No.
Do you need luxury?
No.
Okay, realistically, we live today. We're not, like, I mean, obviously, you're not going to die without certain things, but what things do most people expect you to have today, or do you really need to be able to be part of society today? You definitely need a car, right? You need a way to get transportation. Okay, you do not need, give me a fancy car that you guys like.
Rolls Royce.
I can't spell any of those things. Nope, that's as far as I know on how to spell Lamborghini.
Red Demon. VO. Red Demon.
Yes, put VO. Lambo.
VO.
Oh, there's a B.
B, yeah, VO. There.
I only just put VO.
Yes.
Fancy. You don't need a fancy car. You don't need fancy, you don't need a new car, right? You don't need it to be brand new. It doesn't have to have all the words I'm writing down. What I'm looking for is that what we write here, you have an expensive, unnecessary version there. Does that make sense? What else do you guys need to participate and to be able to communicate with the world? Phone/internet, would you agree? Most places, how do you apply to almost any job now? What would happen if you didn't have a computer, a phone, or internet? Would you be able to get a job? So I'm going to put that as a need, okay? What you don't need is you don't need the newest phone, okay? You're going to try to keep your phone alive as long as you can keep it alive. Yeah, Apple, we're not going to even have that conversation. Okay, and I'm going to say utilities. Do you guys know what utilities are?
Yeah.
Water, sewer, gas, electricity, right? Okay, you don't have to write all those words down as long as you know what utilities are. Okay? I don't have an expensive version of that. Give me something else that people spend money on that they really don't need to. That kind of goes under. So, where do people waste their money? Eating out, definitely. Okay, I would say, yeah, travel. Just a second. Okay, let's open up. Okay, you guys, this is me. This is my actual stuff. Some of this is extra just for the example, but these are my actual numbers. Hey, you guys, I don't like talking over so much side talk. Okay, so this is me. I'm a teacher. I just asked you to stop. What do you need to know? Okay?
I missed something.
Okay. So these are the expenses. My mortgage. Does mortgage go under need versus want? Okay, so this is going to be here. Water, sewer, and trash is about $60 a month. Is that a need or a want? Electrical. Do I need to pay that? Yeah, kind of. Internet, do I need to pay that? My phone plan's now $55 because I've been with the same company for about a year, but we can leave it there. Netflix, need or a want? Groceries, $500. I'm single. Is $500 for a month reasonable? Mm-hmm. But I still need food, right?
That's good though, because then it depends what you buy.
It does. Gas. Oh, sorry. Gas is definitely a need. Sorry. Car maintenance. I need to make sure I take care of my car, right? Home improvement. Do I need to be spending $500 a month at? No. Right? So this, I'm going to make sure that this is, this is the food. And this is going to be Home Depot. Can we just do HD for Home Depot? $50 on clothes. Is that necessary? That's pretty reasonable, right? Salon. Do I need to be going to the salon every month? $80? Do you really think I go to the salon?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay, $40 for eating out. Necessary or unnecessary? 300 for charity. Necessary, unnecessary.
Some of them based.
Insurance. Necessary, unnecessary. Make sense? Okay, so these are our needs. These are our wants. Okay, I'm going to add up this side. You're going to add up this side. Okay, go.
What side are you adding up?
I'm adding up the longer side because I know it's going to be fun. But the calculator's turning on. This is what I got for mine. Is that what you guys got? What did you guys get for this one? $900 and what? Okay,
Is that 2031?
I think so. Isn't it 2031? Didn't I?
935.
Is that more clear? Okay. How much do I need to save for my emergency fund, guys?
What month?
Am I variable or am I fixed as a teacher?
6 months.
Okay, so which one am I going to multiply by 6? Do I do both of them together or do I just do the needs?
Isn't it the one?
Just the needs. So I'm going to take this and multiply that by 6. Is everybody okay with that? So this times it by 6 is going to be what goes here. You guys okay that that's 12,186? Okay, so this is how much I need to have in my emergency fund. Since I'm planning on having no job next year, how much should I have?
Double that.
Double it. So a little over 24,000, right? I'm almost there. Oh, baby. Okay, guys, what do you think I should cut back on? What am I spending too much money on? Groceries, right? Groceries. We should cut, so I want you to write down $500. I want you to slash it, and then what do you think would be a reasonable amount for one single person to live off for groceries for 1 month?
150, 250. It depends.
It does depend. It's me.
150.
Okay? Realistically, guys, this is my, please, 3, 2, 1, focus. Okay, realistically, this is what I actually spend on a month. This was just me making it crazy. I eat very good. I have yummy food every day. It is healthy. It's mostly homemade and homegrown. But that's, that's high quality food. You can, when I was in college, I could live on $50 for like 2 weeks, so like $100 a month. You can live on pretty cheap stuff. Does that make sense? Okay, where else am I overspending?
Charity.
Okay, I disagree, but we'll go with it. I actually do 10% of every check goes to charity. Okay, so charity, how much do you guys think it should be? So instead of $300 a month, what should it be? Okay, 0 to what? What would you want 0, but let's pretend that you're what could you compromise to if your significant other really felt strongly about charity? How much a month? We're thinking maybe $50. Okay, so you guys are fine with that. I'm just gonna point out that my charity is completely tax write-offable, so it lowers my taxable income and it's worth it to me. Okay, where else am I overspending? I have 2 thoughts. Where am I spending a lot of money? Home Depot. Is it necessary for me to be spending $500 a month at Home Depot? No? Okay, do you guys have an idea how much it typically costs just to keep a house working and repaired every month? Okay, so it's going to be somewhere between $75 to $150 is how much you should budget, not to fix the house, but just to keep, not to make the, like you're not renovating the house at that point. You're just making sure all the systems are still working. You're doing basic maintenance. Does that make sense? Okay, so you guys are looking at me like I'm crazy. Yes. So you don't need to spend it every month, but you either put it in the bank and put it aside so that's the average, because there's going to be a time where something big breaks and you're going to need that money. Does that make sense? So if you take how often things break and you break it down by month, that's how much it's recommended you put aside for home maintenance. So let's say that you need to replace windows. Do you guys know how much it costs to replace windows in the whole house? I'm so tired of the door. Leave the door open unless you're getting up. Okay. It costs over $6,000 to replace the windows in your house. Do you guys know how much it costs to replace an air conditioner if an air conditioner breaks? Somewhere between $2,000 to $5,000 for air conditioning. What about if your heating breaks? What about if your heater breaks, guys? Hey, HVAC. What if you need to fix your HVAC?
I call my dad.
Okay, fixing it. Okay, but we're talking about if you don't have those connections, dude. And I hope we're back. Okay, guys, this is how much is recommended you save for basic home maintenance. Things that I need to fix all the time. Leaky faucets, those I know how to fix mostly myself. Parts for leaky faucets, $5 to $10, not a big deal. Things I have to fix all the time. Insulation, silicone seal, basic maintenance of everything. Replacing a dishwasher. Just like basic stuff. It costs me about $50 a month just to do basic maintenance. But I put an extra $100 aside every month so that, at the end of 1 year, that's $1,200. And you need to replace your HVAC every 10 to 15 years. Does that make sense that that's going to just pay for itself if I put it aside a little bit at a time? Okay, besides Home Depot, there's one more place that this was made up. I don't even go to this place. I don't go to the salon. I'm not a salon girl. Okay. A lot of ladies, gentlemen, you should know this before you get married or in a serious relationship. Most ladies do go to the salon to get their hair done every 6 months or so, 3 to 6 months, and that's to get it highlighted or cut right or whatever. It can cost over $300 for a woman's haircut. Every 3 to 6 months, somewhere in there. Depends on the girl and how much maintenance she needs. Okay? How much does it cost? How much does it cost to get a haircut for you guys? Not much, right? How much do you now realistically, I don't go to an expensive salon to get my hair cut. How much do you guys think it costs to get my hair cut? For me. Pardon? Okay, so if I get a haircut every 3 to 6 months, and it costs somewhere between $40 and $60, and that's cheap for a woman's haircut. Okay, for a men's haircut is different. Men's haircut are much less expensive. No, not all. Yeah. Well, Dallas is different. Okay, but this is something you should know. Do you guys have a clue how much nails cost? How much do nails from the salon cost? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen them my best friend is a cosmetologist, and she always tries to get me to do fancy girl stuff. That's not my scene. But like nails are like $50 to $150 depending on how fancy. And you need new ones every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, right? How are you feeling about those high maintenance girls right now?
I hate them.
Oh, that's a little harsh.
No, I do this.
That's a little harsh. Okay, 3, 2, 1, flip. Do you guys know what percentage you need to have saved up for a down payment? Let's say traditional is going to be 20%. That means, do you guys how much? Most houses right now are $200,000 plus here in Waco. How much money do you need? This is the house. What would be the mortgage? What would be the down payment? It would be $40,000. $40,000 would be your down payment. That's how much you would need in cash. Okay. I spent way less than that. Here is what I actually did. Guys, I'm trying really hard to stay on track, but my brain can't do two things at once. Give me a second. I gotta look up the name. All right, this is a program that I don't know if is available to everybody. Shh. Hey, focus. This is how much my house cost. My house, I put in a bid at $150,000, okay? I used an FHA loan, and you had to have 3.5% as your down payment. So I'm going to show you how to do the math. $5,052.50. Does that make sense? And then I got a teacher assist program. It's also called Homes for Heroes. So this is a program that helps firefighters, cops, first responders, and teachers, and I don't know if there's anybody else in the group. They help, pardon? No, because doctors make too much. So guys, thank you. So this program helped me pay for this. Like I had this in cash, but I got $2,000 back to spend on whatever I needed to when I did all the closing and everything.
And the FHA loan, what do you have to ask you?
So FHA, we'll talk about the differences between an FHA and a conventional another time, but I'll highlight a couple key differences now. So an FHA loan is a Federal Housing Administration loan. You have to not be that rich. Okay, so you can't qualify for this if you make a lot of money. Can I finish? Thank you. This is specifically designed to help people who can't afford the 20% down payment. You have to have a reasonable credit score, but not a super high credit score. So for a conventional, you want to have at least a 750. For an FHA loan, 650 or better is typically fine. Okay? Then the FHA loan, the good thing about it is it's a much lower, like it's easier to get it with a lower down payment. Does that make sense? The bad thing about it is you always pay a PMI. PMI stands for private mortgage insurance. Every single month for the entire time that I'm paying my house, I pay an extra $120 for the privilege of having their loan. Okay, so with a conventional loan, you only pay a private mortgage insurance if you have less than 20%. Like if you didn't do the 20% down, if you couldn't afford quite that much, let's say you had 15% down instead, you pay the private mortgage insurance until you've paid that full 20% in your monthly payments. Does that make sense? But once you pay that, you get that $120 every month taken off, and you don't have to pay that. I will pay the $120, so mine's really $116. That's how much I will pay every single month of my loan for forever. It never goes away. Does that make sense? There's a few more differences, but we'll talk about those tomorrow or next week. Okay, let's knock these out. guys, how can you save for a down payment? Mm-hmm. Now, it doesn't have to be $1,000. I'm just saying set aside whatever amount you want every month, but pay it like a bill. So you're going to just pay it like a bill. Okay, so that's what I did. I set aside I paid off all my student loans, and I was paying $400 a month for student loans. And then once I was done paying those off, that $400 a month went immediately to saving for a house. Does that make sense? Okay, then when I paid off my car, that money immediately went to paying for a house. When I paid, like every time I paid a bill, and I was used to paying that bill, I just started paying that money towards buying the house. Does that make sense? Okay, what's another way you could save? What's another thing you could do?
Savings account.
We got a savings account. That's where we're putting the money. Anybody work more than one job?
Make more income.
Can I say side hustle?
So you do,
Mm-hmm. I did private tutoring. I'm going to go back to doing private tutoring. This next year, I'm going to be building my tutoring business and seeing what I can do with that while I finish working on my data analysis stuff. Make sense? Right now, I'm a little bit nervous about getting a job in tech because Google, Facebook, Indeed, LinkedIn, like 10 of the biggest tech companies in the US just had like 40% layoffs. So that means I'm competing against people from Google.
And they also say you want 10 years.
Yeah. So I'm a little nervous about that, but I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous about paying my bills because I have an entire year's worth of money set aside. I will be substitute teaching occasionally for Miss Orcat and Miss Z. I won't be doing for nobody else. And then I'm going to start my own private tutoring business. Like I'm going to start quite a few things. So I'll have different ways to make income.
and then the substitute, how do you get paid that?
So you get paid every day you come.
Every account?
Yeah. So they pay you by the day.
So it's 2 hours, right?
Yeah. And the nice thing about that is I wouldn't have to do any grading. I wouldn't have to do any of the documentation. I would just literally be helping teachers and students. The part of the job I like. Okay. Guys, what did we do here? We found places I was what? Spending too much. So we could say cut expenses. And then with that we're going to save more, right? And this last one is you're going to look for grants / programs to help first-time home buyers. Okay, so there are tons of programs. Now for teachers, I found the Homes for Heroes. It saved me a lot of money. That money, that $2,000 I got back, that let me buy a fridge for the house because I kind of need a refrigerator, right? Grants or programs to help first-time home buyers. There's a lot of things out there to help first-time home buyers, but it depends on your circumstances. Some of them will help you based on your ethnicity, based on your social economic status. So if your family has been in poverty for generations, there's ones for that. There's some that'll help you if you're a minority. There's some that will help you, I don't know for guys, but there are some for women who are first-time home buyers. Life. Okay, so there's different ways that you can get stuff. There's some that are just going to help you just because you're a first-time home buyer and you apply. Okay, these are just some info that you should know. Do you guys know how to set up your utilities? When I bought my house, they gave me the keys, and water was connected, but it wasn't turned on.
Yeah.
Okay? Do you know how, what are they gonna ask when you try to set on your utilities? What are they gonna ask for? They want your social security. Well, the reason I'm telling you this is so you know it's not a scam. They want your social security number because they're gonna look up your credit score. Depending on what your credit score is, depends on if they make you have a deposit. Most places, if you have a good credit score, I have a pretty good credit score. I had to do a $100 deposit. If you had a bad credit score, it can be up to a $500 deposit. Okay, now that deposit you get back, or they can put it towards your bills, but they're not going to turn it on without knowing you're going to pay for it. So if I have a good credit score, they know I'm going to pay. So I have a low I have a low deposit. If I have a bad credit score, it's 500. Now this is also true for electricity. This is true for if you have gas to the house. This is true for your internet and everything else. They're going to ask for all of this. Most houses, when you buy it, the refrigerator is sometimes there, sometimes not. But they usually have the cooktop and the oven. Mine has it separately. They're really old, but they work, so I'm fine with that. You usually have to bring your own washer, dryer, and microwave. That's just basic stuff you should know. Okay, if you have that, please glue that into your journal. Yeah, hold on. Please glue that into your journal and then come show me. 14. Yeah. Please glue it into your journal and show me.